Bienvenidos y buenos dias.
Hola.
It is Doug and Mish out on our morning walk and talk. So we've been talking about the fact that we're getting a lot of people that are responding to our stuff, our videos, saying,
You guys are so lucky.
yeah, you're so lucky. And we don't really feel that it's luck. We've been talking about this, and Michelle really actually drove this. What was the reason what was the rationale for why you decided to walk in my office and announce that we were moving out of the country?
A simpler life. And the reason why we chose PV was because
Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta is because it's close to our family. We have senior moms, kids still in the U.S. So it was close to our family still, that we can come and visit, hop on a plane.
So if you're looking to move abroad, luck really doesn't have anything to do with it. You've got to make a conscious decision to do it. In this particular case, normally I'm the risk taker in the family. I'm always up for a move. When Mish over here decides to make a move, you know it's serious, because she is not a risk taker.
Not at all.
And we decided to make the move, and then the first thing we had to do is reverse engineer what our costs were going to be. You know, we have to decide what our costs are going to be, right? How much do we need to live? So let's say where you're going, you decide that you want to go to Portugal, Spain, Mexico,
Whatever country
Belize,
you
right,
decide.
wherever it is. And then you have to go and do the work. It wasn't luck. We went and said, okay, how much is our rent going to be? Do we need a vehicle down there? And we picked an area deliberately where we won't need a vehicle, because that gets rid of cost. What's the medical situation? In almost any country you're going to go to is going to have a medical situation better than the U.S. with lower costs and probably better outcomes.
For sure.
Right? Mexico, probably $300 a month for a couple our age for private insurance. We're paying $1,400 in the United States.
And that doesn't even cover everything.
Right. And there's tons and tons and tons of videos online. We'll make another post about this, about the medical. But once we got to the point where we understood what our costs were for the entire month, what's food, utilities, if you're going to do an Airbnb, what does that include and what do you still have to cover? In most Airbnbs, for long term, we're finding everything's covered in the cost of the monthly rental, except for maybe electric.
Right.
In Mexico anyways. So then we're able to add that all up and say, okay, let's say that's $3,100 a month. Divide 3,100 by 31 days in the average month, or 30, call it 30. Maybe it's $3,000 and 30, just to get round numbers. That's $100 a day. So then the next thing you need to do is figure out, how can I go about making $100 a day to cover my expenses? So once you have your number, divide it by the number of days in the month, let's say 30, that gives you $100. How do you cover $100 a month plus taxes, plus, plus? You want to have some savings. Obviously, at some point, you do want to retire. You can't just live hand to mouth. So you have to then come up with a plan. And we came up with multiple strategies to work online remotely so that we could immigrate down, because as a temporary resident in Mexico, for example, we can't take jobs down there, right? So we can create businesses. And since Michelle is a high-level personal trainer, and we own a fitness company that sends personal trainers to people's homes, we know that's something we can do. That's one strategy. We found ways to help people who are moving abroad deal with their debt in the United States and reduce the debt a lot, and we could get compensated for helping people out, and it's a win-win. 2, we found a way to help businesses get business credit. That's 3. I'm a licensed mortgage loan originator. I can do that while I'm traveling, since we're not permanent residents anywhere. That might be 4. I have a health insurance license. That's 5. In Mexico, once you have temporary residency, you can go and take classes and become a realtor down there. That's another way. So there's multiple ways that we found that we can make money and make this happen. but nothing happens if nothing happens. You know what I mean? At some point, you just got to grip and rip. Pull the trigger, let it fly.
Let's go.
Let's go. Adios, mi amigos.